right, in three, two, one. What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Platinum Podcast, episode 11 of season 2. I got someone very special with me today.
Hey,
You guys might know him as Chillang. You guys might know him as Chill. But most of you guys, I guarantee, you guys will know him as Mr. Chillax. How's it going, brother?
it's going good, man. How about yourself?
Not too bad, man. So take me along your journey, man. Let's just get down right to it, man. Take
Well,
me along your journey, dude. It's been like over 10 years
yeah,
and you recently just came back. Like, what
yep.
happened?
All right, so a lot of people, they knew me back then, and I did take a long break, right? So I'll just
Hmm.
take you through the very beginning of it. So I started making music probably like 2000, summer of 2008.
Yeah.
So summer 2008. So it's been a minute. So I'm 25 now. So I was like 13, 12-ish at the time.
Hmm.
So what basically made me get into music in the first place was, like looking upon my life. I'm looking at what could possibly be things that could actually make you feel like, like your life has purpose, right? So I'm
Yeah.
like, so it all started with this poem I wrote back in sixth grade. And my first ever poem was something dear to me. It's about my parents.
Hmm.
So a lot of people don't know actually about my backstory and how I actually grew up. So I'm just gonna be real brief. So
All
my
right, man.
parents actually, yep. So I'm just gonna start off with this because this really defines who I am today and who I
Mm,
was during that time when I was starting to come up.
okay.
So when I was young, I was like 8 years old. My parents, like a lot of parents at that time, there was a lot of cheating going on.
Hmm.
There was a lot of unstableness in the household.
Yeah.
So, my parents, they went back and forth with arguments a lot. And they had like affairs and stuff like that at the time. So actually in December 2003, dang, you guys must have been very young at that time,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
So like, if I'm considered young now, you guys are even younger.
Hmm.
So at that time, my parents actually got into a car accident.
Mm.
So, and it was actually my dad who made the accident happen
Oh,
because
okay.
because he actually saw my mom with another dude, right?
Mm.
So basically, that happened. My mom, she died the next morning, while my dad, he actually passed away right on the spot.
Mm.
So, you know, and I have 9 siblings, so all of us at the time had to go through that.
Yeah.
So that Friday morning, we was able to see our mom like 30 minutes right after she passed away. So basically, I want you to picture this: just being 8 years old, looking at your mom in the hospital room, and she's deceased. Like
Yeah.
bruises, scars, and everything for the car accident. So that image today is still, I still think about that moment almost every day in my life, and I take that with me as a reminder that everything I do, I got to be great at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, music didn't really start occurring to me until I was in sixth grade. I wrote my first poem. I was like, think about it. You're I don't know how old you are at six, but no, that in sixth grade. But when you think about it, you're writing a poem. And you're like, what is one thing that really means a lot to me? And my parents every day keeps popping up.
Mhm.
So wrote my first poem, and that was that. I didn't really think much about it. And then seventh grade, eighth grade hit, and I was like, let's start to take this more serious. So then, back in the day, it was MySpace.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure if you had it in MySpace.
I think I had one, but I was like in 6th grade. I was really young.
Yeah, see, MySpace was the thing back then. So
Mhm.
I started posting up tracks on there, and actually, one of the songs that actually came from MySpace was that Billionaire remix.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. So that Billionaire remix, it was probably like 6 months at the time, and that was like 2010, and I
Mhm.
dropped that, and then like basically my older brother at the time when the accident happened, he was 18. So, as we grow up, my brother's trying to take care of us. It was like a pretty big struggle
Mm-hmm.
because, as people age, he expects more out of you,
Yeah,
because he expects that support, for the house and stuff like that.
for
So
sure.
a big part of my reason why I took such a huge gap between 2012 to 2017, 2020, that's actually just based off of home stability. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can't make music if you can't have a stable home, right?
For sure.
And your living situation. And on top of that, I also became a father during that time,
Mm-hmm.
right, in 2012. So, a lot of that does correlate to just, your stableness in your household. And, that's still something that I'm still going through today, but I feel like I'm in a better position than I was at that time and moment of time. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. Man, yeah, like you said, probably not a lot of people knows that story, and
Yeah.
what a tragic, tragic story. Like you and your siblings had to go through and
Yeah, man.
like witness that happening. Like I'm getting goosebumps just like talking about it.
Yeah,
Like,
bro. Like,
dude, that
same
shit
here, man.
is that shit is like crazy. Like I can't
Yeah.
imagine like what I would have felt at that time, what I would still be feeling to this day, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Exactly.
And damn, like you guys are strong like together, like just to go through it together as siblings and still making it out
Yep.
like together,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like, and man, I can't, sorry for your loss, brother, but
Hey, it's cool, man. It's cool, man. Like, I'm like, see, all we could do now is, like, just move on. Like, just move on, but always hold that thought. Like, make your life have a purpose. You know what I'm saying?
for sure, man. And you said that like you took that break because of stability and stuff like that, which,
Yep.
kudos to you for
Exactly.
taking care of your family before
Hey,
anything
I,
else, you
I
know what I
got to,
mean?
man. I got to.
Yeah, for sure. But now you're back and now you
I'm
coming
back.
back. You just released a single Minnesota Storms about a
Hey,
week ago.
yep.
Um do you have any more projects coming out real soon?
Ooh, yeah, man. So right now I got a whole lineup. Like, I'm about to go on a recording spree right now.
Oh, okay.
So like, so I have 3 kids now.
Mhm.
So being a father, you gotta get your priorities straight first
For sure.
while pursuing music, right? So,
Yeah.
I'm making sure the fam is straight, making sure. So basically, like, when I come home from work, I work night shift.
Yeah.
I wake up, I'm always plotting out what I'm gonna do, like writing lyrics, maybe record on this day, and I always have to make sure everything correlates with
Mhm.
with the wifey, with the kids, and make sure that, hey, this is when I want to record,
Yeah.
and that's just how it is now, like, back then I was able to record anytime if I wanted,
Mhm.
but now, I gotta put things first. But music is right up there, like, it's right up
Yeah.
there.
It's like your fourth kid pretty much.
Yeah, it's my baby. It's my
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, man. And you've worked with like Kevin Yang and Too Sure a long time ago.
Yeah.
How do you have any more collabs coming up as well?
Yes. So I don't know if you heard about Stephen L.
No, not yet, man.
Oh, ooh, you should hear him, man. So Stephen L. He's actually a close homie of mine. He actually joined DC's rap contest too, part two.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So his track was called Vision, and then he's kind of on the same journey as me. So he just came back from music last year.
Mhm.
So we're kind of on the same path, and we're kind of going through this whole comeback together. So I
Yeah.
have a track with him. I have a feature on DJ St. Paul,
Okay.
and then I've had quite a few people come in contact with me, but we're just waiting for the right track.
Yeah, for sure. And like looking at collabs and the state of, Hmong rap and music today, since you've been in the game since a decade,
Yeah,
how have you seen the progression of Hmong music or Hmong rap, and like do you like where it's going and where it's headed, or do you like how what it's become to this day?
I would say, man, like, I would say, when I first started, I think my sound was unique because it felt like I was the only one doing it.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
this we're talking about 10 years ago, right?
Mhm.
And like even when I listen back to that music, if I drop that today, it would still hit. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. For
So
sure.
so what I'm saying is, I think as technology advanced, I think people started getting more resources, and then they were able to like, uh, kind of try out new things that maybe wasn't possible before.
For
Because if
sure.
you think about it, back in like 2010, so and crazy story, 2010, only reason why I had a setup because then we was hella struggling. But
Yeah.
my sister one day, I was bugging, like, hey, you think you could buy me this USB microphone? She's like, I don't have enough money for it, but I'll check it out. And shout out to my sister Cher. So one day I came home from school. She's like, "Hey, what was that mic you were talking about?" I was like, "Oh snap!" So that USB microphone. See, like it don't matter. Like whatever equipment you could use it. And then as you get better and better, upgrade.
For sure,
I always
man.
tell people, invest in yourself. Like if
Mhm.
it costs this much, still you gotta invest because it's for you. It's for your
Mhm.
progression as an artist.
Right. For sure. And what's funny enough is I just posted something about on my Instagram story about, it doesn't matter what type of equipment you have, you just need to start, and the equipment will come. You know what I mean? As
Yep.
long as you
Yeah.
start it. Like my
Exactly.
light is like taped a bunch of times on a tripod that's like broken as hell. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like it doesn't matter what type of equipment as long as you have enough to start it. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, for sure.
If you can get your voice in, instrumental playing, like you good, man. You good.
Yeah. And like your style of rap, like it's I hear like distortion in there and kind of like that singing rapping type. Were you going for that ever since you were making music?
Like you talking about like my mixing style or like just kind of like, oh, like stylistically, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So one of my biggest you know so I just told you the backstory of my parents, right?
Mhm.
So remember around 2008, and I was really starting out with music. So one of the biggest albums that I hold dear to my heart is 808s and Heartbreak by Kanye West.
Mm.
So, it was a really, very my first time where I really felt, I really felt what an artist was trying to communicate.
Yeah,
And when you think about that album in retrospect, now that album changed music and it influences the sound we love today, right?
right, right.
So that's one hell of a album to be dear to me, and that's part of the reason why I think I was able to come back after all this time.
Mhm.
Because I think Kanye West in general, he's just he's just an influencer in music. Like he's finding the new sounds before they become the trend.
For sure. Like it might
Yeah,
sound crazy right now, but I bet that like 5, 6 years down the road, that's gonna be what's popping right now.
yeah. So remember Yeezus, right?
Mhm.
When that came out in like 2013, so people were
Yeah,
like, "Yo, this shit's whack," and then now everyone's doing that sound today.
for
So
real.
yeah. So to answer your question, basically all that, like for me, I just take the sounds I'm inspired by, and I combine it with other influences, and I spit it out on the other end, and that's what becomes that.
Yeah, for sure. And everything you've done, did you learn by yourself pretty much?
Yeah, man, everything. So like, back then there wasn't even a lot of like how tos of, because back then, everyone was on a program called Cool Edit Pro.
Mhm.
So, but nowadays people have access to like FL Studio, Pro Tools, and
Yeah,
stuff like that. And Cool Edit Pro, it just kind of died along with software as technology advanced.
yeah,
So, during that time, it was just watching hella YouTube videos. And one big advice I gotta tell, like so I mix Stephen L too, and I mix my own music. So I've had people come up to me and like, "Hey, how do you mix your sound?" I'm like, you just gotta know what you're going for. Listen to your favorite songs and what keeps occurring every time that music comes. Like,
mhm.
why do you like that sound? Try to replicate it. A lot of it is just experimenting. Like that's with life. You experiment,
Yeah,
experiment.
for sure. And like for each and every song that you're dropping, how do you make them sound different? Because I know there's a different emotion or a different theme that goes into that song, but then I know it can be hard, especially when you're making your own beat and you're mixing your own stuff. It can be hard to not be repetitive. You know what I mean?
Yep. So a big a big part of that for me is I've come to a point in time where I want to have so many flows, so many ideas, so many melodies, so many. So basically, like my first love for everything was football, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I use this analogy a lot. So when you walk onto the football field, you want to have no weakness, right?
Yeah.
Because you step on the field, your opponent's looking at you. It's like, hey, I know what you're weak at. I'm gonna target that. I'm like, but what if you have no weakness?
Mm.
So part of me creating new sounds is actually just go with what you feel and kind of be aware of what you've already done, but challenge yourself to keep evolving as an artist. And
Yeah.
you know, I think a lot of people get comfortable and they don't challenge themselves to try new sounds. And one thing with me is that every song that I've ever do, if you listen to every song I've done, I've introduced new elements.
Yeah.
It's like
Mm-hmm.
element. Maybe I'll grab a technique I did here, but I'll do it here, but I'll do it even crazier. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
don't be afraid to challenge yourself as an artist because that's part of what an artist is. You evolve.
For sure, man. And like going back to the state of the Hmong music game and the Hmong rap game, who do you say is someone you look up to?
Someone I look up to, I probably look up to Guinea.
Mm,
So
yeah.
me and Guinea actually we have a crazy ass story. So a lot of people know him as superstar producer,
Mm-hmm.
uh, superstar vocalist. But for me, my first introduction to him was, Guinea. He started, so he's been making music, right?
Yeah.
So he's been making music for like a long time. So, and he's actually been in, I think right when I met my wife, this is back in 2010, she said she had a cousin, and that cousin was actually Guinean, right?
Oh, okay.
So it's crazy. So at that time, I didn't think much about it. And then when Guinean approached me with, because Guinean, he hangs out with my wife's brother a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So he sent me a video. He's like, chill, dude, you gotta come back. I was like, oh, this that cousin. But see, at the time, Guinean didn't really start to pop off, right? At
Yeah,
that time.
yeah.
So at the time, I just viewed him as, oh, dang, he really wants me to come back. And that's what inspired me to do Paradise. Because
Yeah.
if you listen to Paradise, it really talks about my mental state,
Mm-hmm.
really talks about what I'm going through. And that second verse really talks a lot about my brother. So, I credit Guinean, Mushu, Kevin, a lot of them boys, a lot of Guinean's group, my wife's brothers,
Mm-hmm.
my friends and everybody on helping me back along this road. Because even after 2017, Guinean he was still in my ear. He was still making like videos of, hey, chill, you gotta go back, And then we finally saw each other again in 2019 in November, and then, he kept reiterating. I'm like, all right, man, y'all want to come back? The times gotta be right. And next thing you know, DC Reacts, January 2020. He was like, "Hey, rap contest." And at the time, I'm just like trying to come up with stuff, like trying to get my comeback ready.
Mm-hmm.
And then my wife's brother Moose, she was like, "Chill, hop on it. You can murder it." I'm like, so I slept on it, and then next morning, let me see what I come up with, and then
Mm-hmm.
bam, banger. I was like, I'm back. I'm back.
Man, so it's like music never even left your blood, pretty much.
It never, bro. So like, and here's the thing, man. Like, you don't know. So I wouldn't say I was fully ready to come back at the time of DC's first rap contest, right?
Yeah.
But this is my thing in life is that you're never truly ready for anything. So just do it.
Mm-hmm.
And my mindset with that was just do it, man. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah, that's true, man. What do you
And you
like?
listen to the lyrics, man. It was like, who is this dude not gonna lose? I've been down for it. Count me out. They can find me knocking at your door. Like,
Yeah,
and the
man.
resurrection's for the dead. Then I'm ahead, of course. Cause like I'm already so in music terms, metaphor terms, I'm already dead. So how can you die again? That's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying.
Man, that shit go hard.
Yeah, but and part of this thing is like you just gotta see. It's not even about. It's not even about. So your earlier question was, how do I come up with new sounds? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it is just finding your true self in these sounds. Like if the music hits, if it means dear to you, the best will come out of you. Like that's it, man.
Yeah, for sure. And do you think about streaming your songs on like Spotify or like
Yeah.
SoundCloud and other streaming services as well?
hmm So crazy thing is, so right now I want to build up my catalog, right?
Yeah.
So basically, you think about Mo music today, and a lot of it's on YouTube. Some people are doing streaming, but streaming is almost like an afterthought, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, like I'll be the first to say this. If this ever happens, you heard it here first, right?
All right, man.
So Hmong evolution, right? Hmong music evolution. You think about Spotify, that because Spotify is the biggest music platform right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like YouTube seems big, as YouTube is. A lot of people after Spotify, they're not paying for YouTube bread because they're paying for a subscription for Spotify.
For sure.
So right after YouTube, they're going straight to Spotify. So for Hmong folks, Spotify seems it's kind of like or like the general, like we all the music heads, we know what Spotify is, but we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about the general audience, right?
Yeah.
They're not having Spotify playlists because Spotify playlists are for kind of like the American side of music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, I'm like, so to evolve, right? We're here at YouTube and Spotify is here, and they have all of these playlists. So I think with Hmong evolution, right? I think to take the next step is we can't think that we've already made it because we're in the Hmong community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how can we push our Hmong music to even greater height? Because look, if people like K-pop and we don't know what some K-pop artists are saying, if there was Hmong pop or H-pop, whatever you want to say,
Yeah.
right? So it's like if I don't know what K-pop is saying, but I still vibe with it, then imagine a H-pop or H-pop, H-rap, or whatever you want to call it. Imagine that pops off, but you sprinkle in kind of like what Kalia Universe is doing. Like
Mm-hmm.
I see what she's doing, and
Yeah.
like kind of like kind of appeal to like a larger audience while
Yeah.
still
It's like
retaining,
Monglish pretty much.
Monglish. But see, for me, I stay in my lane. So like, and so part of this is why I said everything goes back to what I told you in the beginning about my parents.
Mm-hmm.
Is all my Hmong dialect died on that day. I
Yeah.
never spoke legit Hmong after that.
Mm.
So all the Hmong I know today is the same Hmong I know from when I was 8 years old.
Oh, damn.
So so like even when I talk to my kids, like I still troll with them like, hey, so I speak some Hmong, and they were like, what is that? I'm like, dang, y'all made me feel like a pro out here.
Yeah.
So like like, but now I'm starting to like understand the importance of just kind of keeping in their ears like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
my Hmong's not even that good, but if you guys believe I'm good, then I'll make an effort to kind of like at least show you guys all that I can. And
Yeah,
that's all you
man.
could really do because that's just how generations are. That's how it's gonna be, and we have to accept that.
Yeah, for sure. And what's funny is that like Art Lee from TNT and Paimon,
Yeah.
when we were talking when he was on my podcast, barely speaks Hmong too. You know what I mean? And he came out with one of the biggest songs back in the day. I forgot what year was it. And it was all in Hmong. So it's like
Yeah.
you don't even, like he said, like you don't even need to really speak Hmong. You just need to cater to Hmong people for them to like it. That's it.
True.
Yeah, but I mean, I like what you're doing though. You're not really just catering to Hmong people. That's the thing.
Yeah. True.
I mean, that might be because you don't speak that much Hmong, which is fine. You know what I mean? Because you're already Hmong, so
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmong people are
Exactly.
gonna look at you anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy too to think about like the state of music right now, like what Sons of No Town is doing, what Khalid Universe, like you said, just a lot of people that are trying to evolutionize this game, and I'll put you on that list too. You know what I mean? Just to try to do something different, and it's really interesting to see where we're gonna be going, in the next few years, because this past year during this whole pandemic, the whole game has changed. We got young people coming out rapping, doing different types of styles. Kalia
Yep.
Universe coming out doing different type of style. Sons of No Town dropping, you know, a whole different type of rap style that nobody really thought that we could be in. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And then we don't always have to rely on like, no hate, but like the David Yangs and the Mavus
Yep.
to
True. True.
like to be our idols anymore. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
so many other outlets and so many other people to have proof that like, hey, we could be that too. You know what I mean? And it's
Exactly.
crazy, man,
Exactly.
for real. But now that you're back, what is the game plan for this year?
So this year, right? So this year, I definitely want to find my crowd. Like I want to find. So I have a good idea of who my crowd is, right? So
Hmm.
so my Rayla, you gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. So that was my daughter. That was my
No, you
daughter.
good.
So I have a good idea of who my core fans are, but now where I'm trying to go is I'm trying to go even further. So I'm
Hmm.
talking about so I live in Iowa now, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people probably don't know that. So all my close homies, they know that I moved to Iowa, but all the outer circles, they probably don't know that.
Yeah.
So as soon as there's this actual like so basically I want to get out in the scene more
Mm.
because being out here naturally uh so like so where are you located in Minnesota?
Oh, I'm actually in Wisconsin.
Oh, you in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Ooh. So okay, so back in the Twin Cities, there's like hella bars and shit. So
Hmm.
people be hella networking. So
Yeah, for sure.
and what's crazy is, it's real easy. You just go to the bar, say, hey, check out my music, and bam, next thing you know how Hmong people are. Like
Yeah, yeah, for
you
sure.
introduce a little bit of party vibes, and they're like, okay, yeah, you're my homie now. It's like,
Yeah, for
okay,
sure. Just give them a
yeah,
beer,
but
your friends.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Because everyone kind of knows someone
Yeah,
from
for sure.
somebody.
Hmm.
And then, but I've always viewed myself as an outsider, like outside looking in. So I'm always like, damn, I can't really be up in the cities every time like that.
Hmm.
But so basically, what I can do here is start looking locally. So there's actually a bar where like artists is actually like major artists is like where they come tour and there's like a spot. So
Oh
and they
yeah.
actually do open mics there. So I'm like, I can first start hitting locally. Start really because look, I think and I really just trying to break through was like one of the first Hmong artists to really compete on a major level.
Hmm.
And I feel like shit, like when I did What's Popping, like I went toe to toe with the industry. Like you can't
Yeah.
deny that. Like I
Yeah,
went
for sure.
like I listened to Joiners. Like you put me in the pool of all the major artists and major like MGK and everybody who really hopped on that. And I feel like I stack up right next to them,
For sure,
and
man.
I want to take my Hmong identity and I want to represent it on a major level and let kind of like the industry kind of know that hey, uh, there's this Asian dude, but he's not Chinese, he's not Taiwanese, he's not Korean, he's not Cambodian, he's not Filipino, he's a was it Hmong? And what I'm saying is the Hmong people were a minority of a minority, and
Hmm.
that's really hard to try to get over. And,
Right.
I'm like, yo, how crazy would that be if we had a minority of a minority actually jump up there and really be with, and this is what I said, like, make it to where one day your idols will become your rivals. And,
Mm.
you know,
Man, that's a good way to put it too.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Cause I look up right now, I look up to like Joyner, look up to, everyone listen to Joyner. Everyone,
Hmm.
all the major artists out there, like people know
Yeah.
who they listen to. basically I listen to them too, you know. So
Hmm.
like, why can't I be in the same pool with them? Why can't I kind of compete for the spot they're at, or the spot, or just to be kind of within their range, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's important to when you're taking your craft this serious, you have to, compare yourself to the
Yeah,
people
true,
on the
true.
top. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You can't just like you can still look up to them. They can still be your
Yeah.
idol, but at the same time, at the end of the day, this is a business, and this
Yep.
is the top guy is gonna get the top
Yeah.
things. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's just business, and it's
Yep.
not personal. Nobody's gonna take it personally.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what I
not
mean?
personal, man.
Yeah,
And it's
because
just natural in
everything
rap to
changes
be.
every day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. True. And it's
Yeah,
just
man.
natural in rap to be competitive. And
Hmm.
I tell my wife that, like, she's like, you gotta stop, like, stop competing like you're out to get everyone. I'm like, hey, it's what you gotta do. It's rap.
It's the
There's just no
game.
way about it.
Yeah,
There's no way about it. And if you pull your punches just one bit, guess what? Somebody else is gonna come and they're gonna be like, okay, he don't want it, I'll do it. And so
yeah, for sure.
and it's natural. You're trying to fight to be the top, and it's
Hmm.
natural. And I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, look, it's cool. It's just the way music is. And
Hmm.
in the end, we all know it's love. All know it's love, but everyone's trying to make it, and
Yeah, for
that's just
sure.
how it is.
And for Hmong rappers, who do you listen to? If you do listen to any Hmong rappers?
I listen to Stephen L. Stephen L.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
but yeah, Stephen L. is my homie. He's my homie. So like, I don't really listen to it like that.
Hmm.
Like, I know a lot of people in our community are vibing, but I probably I listen to Surprise a lot because he's my homie.
Mm.
Surprise, I listen to Kevin stuff too, and that's just because they're my homies. Like, but
Yeah,
other
yeah,
than that, like, I'm aware of what's going on right now and stuff like that. But really, really, it's just me supporting my homies. Really.
yeah, for sure. And is it crazy to see like most of your guys are in the music industry too? You know
Hey,
what I mean?
crazy, right? It's
Yeah, it's
crazy.
like so. Let me who's the better rapper out of all you guys?
Oh, come on, man. Come on, come on, come on. We know, man. We know the answer. You don't gotta say that. I was playing, man. Look, here's the thing, man. Like, everyone has their own style.
Hmm.
Everyone has their own style. Everyone has their own level. But like I said, you gotta carry yourself like you are the one, because that's how you're gonna get better.
Yeah. And do you see yourself kind of marketing or catering yourself towards the Hmong industry more since because you're coming back, or are you just kind of like you're doing a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this?
Yeah. So naturally, you're gonna cater to your community first, right?
Hmm.
But for me, I'm always the outside of the box kind of guy. So like, why can't why can't I try to go out here first, and then the Hmong community or whoever really fucks with my sound was like, hey, who's this guy? Oh, he's Hmong. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
instead of knowing me from a local level, first experience me at a level where they're like, oh my gosh, like, it's possible. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
like, it's very cliche. Like, hey, you trying to cater to the Hmong community, or Black America, White America, just America in general. I'm like, hey, for me, I just want to make the music I want to make at the end of the day.
mm,
And part of it is too is, so I know that DC preach evolution in music, right?
yeah,
So my thought about evolution is that listeners, along with artists, gotta evolve too.
mm,
Because when you listen to the general audience, right? So a lot of them are kind of OG-ish.
yeah,
And that's why Monk songs are popping off, right?
yeah,
Like, every Monk song. And that's why dudes like Channing, they're providing a new element to that with like R&B sound.
yeah,
So for the general audience of the OG Hmong population, and just people who are really starting to listen to music, they get a taste of what we listen to on the regular with American music.
Mm.
So you see what I'm saying? So there's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
elements that, so that's what I'm saying. Like listeners got to evolve along with the music, because you can't be listening to Paradise like 2000 Paradise
Yeah, yeah.
30 years from now, right? So you got to
Yeah.
evolve with the time. But I'm not saying like it's cool. Like you don't have to evolve. But what I'm saying is to truly evolve as a community, as a
Mm.
brand, music wise, listeners they gotta be like they gotta be able to take in new sounds and say, okay, I like it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
For sure. I think it's hard, man, especially for Hmong people to,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say evolve, but then I would say like kind of accept change. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
Like especially for the OGs and especially like just people
God.
in general. Like
Yeah.
the Hmong community is hard for change. Like right now,
It
even
is.
like there's a bunch of change going on in the
Yeah.
community. Like, you know,
Yeah.
women, they're being empowered now.
Yeah.
They have a
That's
voice
right.
in the
That's right.
community. And
Yeah.
I know some OG guy doesn't
Yeah,
like
man.
that. You know what I mean?
Jeez. It's like, bro, you gotta get over that. Like, we're trying to progress as a society, man.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
all that men are kings and shit. Like all that shit, it's gotta go out the window, man.
Hmm.
Cause look, and that plays too, kind of like my dad's way of thinking. Like, come on, man. Like that's how my parents turned out, Like,
Hmm.
and there was a big topic about domestic violence within the Hmong community, and I'm
Yeah.
like, guys, like I lived through this shit. Like this shit, we gotta get over this shit. Like we
Hmm.
gotta really progress as a Hmong community,
Yeah.
society. Like it's crazy how like people are so hard at it. Like I don't get it. I'm like, it's not even that hard. You don't even gotta be the most like OG person to understand. And even some OGs are starting to like, you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
We need to evolve.
Yeah. I mean, like again, man, it's just I don't know what it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
man.
it's just hard for Hmong people to change or to accept
Yeah,
change, and I
yeah,
think
man.
it's because of the fact that like they fought so hard to come here, you know what I mean?
True,
And they
true,
fought so hard to come here, and they've lost everything already. Maybe they
true,
don't want to lose um their culture anymore. You know what I mean?
true, true.
Maybe that's why. But I think it's such a bigger topic that you and me can't figure it out by ourselves.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. But see, like, but I think time will heal everything.
Hmm.
Like there'll be days like the same way we think about racism today. It's like, hey, there was a point in time where certain people weren't allowed to do things.
Hmm.
So as time goes on, like it'll never truly go away, the toxicness in our communities. But
Hmm.
hopefully one day, man, there's a point in time where it's like, hey, there was a point in time where we used to be like this, but now we're like this,
Yeah.
and continue to preach a positive message, to the next generation, man.
Hmm. So moving on, how did you get your name? How did you get your nickname Chill? And did that
Hey,
just come naturally to become Mr. Chillax?
yeah. So crazy story, right? So in fourth grade, my name was regular. It was like Chilang, right?
Hmm.
So fourth grade, I was like one of the class clowns, naughty kids.
Oh yeah.
And then my math teacher, her name was Judy. So my school actually called everyone by their first names, regardless if you were a teacher.
Mm.
So her name was Judy. She's like, Chilang, you need to calm down. You know what? I'm just gonna call you Chill from now on. So I'm like, okay, cool, it's fine. And then she was just like, and I keep wilding out, and she's like, chill. I need you to chill. I'm like, okay, cool. And then everyone started catching on. They were like, chill, chill, chill. And that's how I got it. I'm like, hey, that's kind of cool. So the general public will probably think, oh, he's called Chill because he's chill. He's a calm dude. I'm like, nah, bro.
Yeah, that's what I
I,
was thinking. I was like,
it's the
oh, he's
opposite.
probably like a cool vibing guy, you know?
Hey, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like everything just seems creative. It's crazy. It's like
Hmm.
it's for the opposite. So the Mr. Chillax. So the Chillax. So back in 2008, I was in and shout out to I'll shout them out. So during this time, I was in a group called In Progress.
Mm.
They were like a St. Paul. They were like a Hmong photography, music, music kind of group where they come together like once a week.
Okay.
So, and where they teach you like photography and like music production and stuff like that. So one of the instructors was Mr. Meaner, and his name's Hua right now. And shout out to Hua and my homie Jer. They're actually cousins. Like I said, everyone kind of knows each other, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So his cousin was Hua, which was Mr. Meaner. He's like,
Mhm.
hey, chill. And Jer, my homie, he knew I was kind of like trying to get into music. He's like, hey, they actually have a studio and everything. Like, do you want to go to one of these classes, kind of check it out? I'm like, yeah, I guess, let's do it. So it was actually Mr. Meaner. His name is Hua. So, but to be in the group, you got to come up with a different nickname.
Mm.
But because I already had a nickname, Chill, he's like, hey, it don't matter, man. We still got to come up with one. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. So he's like, so we were like sitting there. We had like 6 people in a circle. It's like, Chillax, Chill, Chilling. I'm like, and there was like Chillax. I'm like, okay, yeah, I could ride with Chillax. And then Mr. Meaner, naturally being one of the instructors, he was like a rapper too, right?
Mhm.
So basically, I decided to put the Mr. Chillax to kind of make it sound more official.
Mm.
And then that Mr. is kind of like a homage to Mr. Meaner for first kind of like taking me through the steps of becoming an artist. Because even when it wasn't those group sessions, he took us on like a day we weren't supposed to go there. And he like, hey, I'm gonna produce a beat and y'all just write to it. So he was really the first one who really like brought me into the studio, kind of showed me what it felt like to be like an artist. And I'm like,
Yeah, for sure.
dang. So it was my first time ever seeing like legit equipment. So
Mm.
yeah, shout out to Mr. Meaner, my homie Jer, just introducing that scenery to me. And next thing you know, it sparks a whole new interest in what being an artist is like.
Yeah,
So,
for sure, man.
and I'm sure every artist out here, they know the first time where they saw a legit studio and they were like, yo, this is nice.
This is for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Would you say that was that time where you're like, "Yeah, I think I want this for the rest of my life."
Definitely, bro. Like 12 years old, you're in a booth, you're looking out and he's pressing record. It's just you can't explain that feeling, bro. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Man, that's cool. One of these days, I might have to hop on one.
Hey, you never know. You
Never
never
know,
know.
man. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you got the equipment, man.
yeah, that's true, that's true.
Yeah,
I
headphone,
just,
microphone, computer, you good, man.
I don't got that tone for it, you know what I mean?
Oh, come on now. Everybody got a tone, man.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, man, moving on, how's it like living in, Ohio?
Iowa.
Iowa, my bad.
So like it's fucking hard, bro. So like when I left, think about everything you ever known, everything you ever loved, your homies, your friends, and really just right after high school, because I moved here when I was like 19, turning 20. So like
Oh,
just 2 years
damn.
after high school, everything I ever knew was like, hey, go start your life here so that, you can better support your family and
Mhm.
your kids. I was like, dang, man. So like it was definitely like one of the moments of my life where I reflect a lot. Like, and that's part of my reason and comeback too. Is like if I never truly pursue what I had when I was younger, how can you live on knowing that you didn't pursue it?
Yeah.
And for me, I know as a man, as a person, as a father, I couldn't live with that fact that what if. So I was like, let's do this, man. Let's do it. Like, dude, you come right back, and it's not like, and you got even better. So like, just stick with it,
Mhm.
and basically the life here, man, is just there's a lot of people who come from out of state. So a
Oh,
lot of my
really?
coworkers right now, bro, they were never born in Iowa. So like, so like that's what I'm saying. Like, so I found peace here because it's like the slogan of the state is like field of opportunities, right?
Mm.
So like, if anything, being away from home, it made me cherish what I have more, and what I already have in my life to, kind of keep it keep it closer.
Yeah,
And that's all I can say. Like friends and family at home, and like, bro, I miss them every day, man.
for sure. Hey, did you just move over there for a job
Yes,
opportunity, or?
yeah. So like, it's crazy. So yeah, it was more like there was gonna be a job for me in construction and everything like that.
Mm,
And what's crazy is, and like these jobs, they're shitty, bro.
mm,
Like construction, you know, and this is why there's a person cleaning up the construction place, because those are just your scrap people who they pay little ass money to
yeah.
do all the hard work.
Mm-hmm.
And like as soon as I kind of realized that and moved from job to job, I had more self worth, and self worth is big. Like, don't underestimate yourself as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I figured. I was like, yo, like I have more potential than this, and there's something bigger and better out there for me. And I would never want people to go through what I went through.
Yeah.
And as I progress as an artist and my career unfolds, I'm really gonna preach more of that.
Do you think you would ever move back?
Definitely.
When do you think you would be ready?
So realistically, I think I'll be ready in like 3 more years.
Oh,
So I've
really?
been
Oh, you
here.
have a number in it now.
Yeah, I have a number in. So basically, I've been here for almost 6 years now. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy. So I think just underneath the decade, because if I wanted to, anybody could say, yeah, I'm gonna move back next year, but really, it's a lot harder than that, because I got 3 kids. We got to
Yeah.
find a situation that's right for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's one thing with music too, is that if you truly love it, do it while being a father. Like, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with doing the impossible. Like
Yeah,
if
for
you really
sure.
love it, do it. Do it.
Yeah, man. And I preach that a lot on my channel too. You know what I mean? Like, it's your passion for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You love it
exactly.
for a reason. So
Yeah,
if you're gonna die knowing that you didn't do it, that's the worst type of death.
exactly.
You know what I
And that's
mean?
what I'm saying. And why would you preach to your kids? Chase your dreams, go to school, be a good student. Yeah, chase your dreams and stuff like that. But you didn't do exactly what you were preaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even if things don't work out, well, guess what? Like, I can tell my kids I still chased it, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what matters. If you believe you are capable of doing something, do it. Like, and even if you fail, you did it, man. That's all that
Yeah,
matters. Like, nothing else matters.
for sure, man. Is there a lot of Hmong people over there?
Nope. Nope. Bro, there's a church that our mother-in-law tried to get us to go to. It had Hmong folks, right? It was probably like 50 Hmong folks. And these
Mm-hmm.
people drive 2 hours from different parts of Iowa just to get here. I'm like, damn, I thought all you guys was in this area. But no, these people come from an hour away, 2 hours, 40, 50 minutes. I'm like,
Damn,
and that's all we could get in this area. I'm like, dang,
that is crazy.
yeah,
Jeez, so
man.
you went like 6 years without any talking to any Hmong people other than
Yeah,
your
bro.
family.
Yeah. But
Damn.
that's what's crazy, is that we're pretty isolated out here.
Yeah. Is it peaceful over there though?
Yeah, it's pretty peaceful, bro. But then, like, when I see Hmong folks again, when I come up to the cities, I'm like, all right, it feels just like home. So like,
Yeah, for sure.
it feels just like home. So over here, so we are close to like a campus. So there's a lot of like other non-Hmong people who are Asian,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and like it's still like, it's like, hey, it's an Asian person, but they're probably not Hmong. But that's cool. Like, it's
Mm,
cool.
yeah, man. And we're gonna jump into a segment I like to call the Platinum Fives. So top five, dead or alive, who would you have a sit down dinner conversation with?
Top five,
Mm-hmm. Dead or alive?
top five. All right, first two probably be my parents,
Mm-hmm.
and then number three, probably have a talk with J Cole.
For sure.
J Cole, we got to connect. because I don't know if you can tell, but like I'm a pretty progressive person. Like I want better for our community and shit.
Yeah,
You
for
know.
sure.
Number four, shit, I don't know. Dang, that's a good question, bro. Number four, I'll probably want to have a have a real talk, like man down, sit down with, you know, my oldest brother who took care of us.
Mm.
Cause bro, like it's crazy because there's so much stuff that you can't really say to each other, but
Yeah,
you
for
just kind
sure,
of
man.
know it's there,
Hmm.
and it's tough to really like that. That is not in a party setting where you're like, dude, I appreciate everything you've done.
Yeah,
It's more
yeah, yeah.
like me and my brother, we never really had a chance to really talk about uh go. We never really had a chance to talk about like what he really went through. I can only speculate, but
Yeah,
even
man.
that hurts just to think about it. So I never
Hmm.
really had the opportunity to really sit down with him and really talk about that. And shit, the last person, man. Um shit, man. Last person. Ooh, what's crazy is I actually really wanted a conversation with DC.
Reacts.
Yeah, DC React.
Oh yeah.
Cause I don't know, when you've been gone so long from the game and somebody gives you that opportunity, like you just want to talk to them on a level where you're just straight up talking, chilling, vibing, not talking about music, just talking about life, you know.
For sure,
But
man.
now he's giving us that opportunity where we can still connect with them
Hmm.
on a movement level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And what he's doing right now is totally different. I don't know if he's gonna be bringing back the rap contest,
Gee, I
but
don't know.
yeah,
I
we'll
don't know,
see,
man.
man. I want him back on to kind of just talk about what he's going through right now. You
Yeah,
know, it's a change, but at the same time, you know, it's a good change, and a lot of people have to see it that way. You know.
yeah, man, definitely.
All right,
And
man.
this comes up with the change talk. Like,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
are people ready for this? And DC knows people aren't ready, but at the same time, people are never truly ready. So just throw it out there, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said it on one of my videos, like, you know, people might not like it, but I think DC is the perfect guy to start it, or probably
True.
not start it, but then for people to actually listen to, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like people actually want to hear what he has to say. So I think he's like the perfect candidate to actually start a revolution or start something in this Hmong community, because I
True,
like
man.
honestly I'm sick and tired of like us not progressing and like
Yeah, true,
always
man.
just
Same here.
wishing to be better but not doing anything to get there. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And
And what's crazy is whether you like it or not, DC, he's become a staple in the Hmong community. He's become like official voice. You
mhm.
know what I mean? So like that's good. That's good, man.
Yeah, man. And you know, for sure we need more people like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
To
definitely.
progress us, to motivate us to, you know, get further in life than just, you know, go to school, get a job, that's it. You know
Yeah,
what I
true.
mean? We need to hit all these other opportunities that other minorities are hitting too. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Other minorities are hitting all these things. You know, black people are getting screen time. You know, Asian people are getting screen time too now,
Yep.
but then they're not Hmong people. You know what I mean? And Hmong people,
Exactly.
we're getting there. You know, we have people like Duomo that is getting there, and
Yep. True.
I think people need to realize like if that person can do it, I could do it too. If a white person can do it, I could do it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, man. And that's with everything. That's like the 50 year. Well, it's been like 50 years, and now you're just starting to see people of Hmong caliber in the courtrooms
Hmm.
and in history books. So like, but now we have an opportunity, a really platform to really accelerate that growth, man.
Hmm. Yeah, man. What would you like to see in the next few years from the Hmong community, whether it's music
Uh,
or whether it's just the community in general?
I think for me, what I like to see is just don't be afraid to like do something that's dear to you. Like if you like a certain type of music, like just do it. Like don't worry about the backlash. Like if you like to really if you really like to rap among if people you like to rap in English and people are like, oh, you should do Hmong rap. Like, just do what's dear to you, because I feel like if you force yourself to be something you're not, and you try to say, hey, look at what I'm doing here, but it's not really you,
Mm,
you're really battling yourself of evolving. You know what I'm saying?
for
Like,
sure.
stay true to yourself. That's all that you could really do, because in the end, you really only have yourself.
Yeah, man. And like, who else are you trying to be? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, you have no other business of being anybody else other than yourself. So you
yeah,
might as well just pick that one person. You know what I mean?
yeah. And like, if somebody was just clout riding, like if there was a general population that had this opinion, and this person like, oh, okay, I'll just jump along with that opinion, but they're not staying true to themselves, you're contradicting yourself, you
Yeah,
know?
for sure, man. Yeah,
And that's
man.
the same thing with like audiences. If you like a certain type of music, don't gravitate towards the music that you don't really mess with.
Hmm.
And then, because you're fighting yourself, you're not going
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah,
And imagine how many people doing that. That means no one's really moving, So like, if you have a true sound, a true authentic person, or like, it's not even have to be in music.
hmm,
It could be in everything else,
yeah,
And then you'll find similar minds think alike, and hopefully one day the good outweigh the bad. Like, you know.
yeah, man, for sure. All right, man, we're hitting the end right here. Do you have anything else to plug? Upcoming projects, a song coming out in a
Mm,
couple days or weeks, maybe.
Shit. So I'm just gonna say this. There's probably gonna be a project in the near future, and
Mm,
it'll be unlike anything you ever heard. Like,
okay.
I'm telling you that right now. Like, I'm always challenging myself to find new sounds, challenge myself, find new flows, and I got flows in my back pocket, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like, but like, yeah, It's part of just evolving. Challenge
Hmm.
yourself, be greater than what you were or who you are right
For
now.
sure, bro. You got any social medias you want to plug in?
Yeah, man, y'all gotta subscribe to the channel, man. It's crazy how I'm getting slept on out here. It's crazy, man. So, and y'all, and like, my Instagram, I'm definitely gonna get a couple photo shoots in.
Mm,
Definitely gonna be more active, and I wanna start showing kind of behind the scenes of what I go through as an artist,
mm.
parent, and stuff like that. Because I feel like that stuff is just as important as the music.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Because if people can know who you are on a personal level, they'll vibe with you more. But hey,
Yeah.
if I got this far with just music, you know, hey, that's good, man. That's good.
Yeah, man. More to come, bro. More to come.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you for coming on. You're a humble dude. You're a very confident. You haven't lost a step once you came back, you know
Hey,
what I mean? So,
that's right.
I can't wait to hear what else you got planned for us. The bangers you're gonna be dropping the next few
Hey,
future. I can't wait for it, man. Again,
hey,
thank you. Thank you so much for being here, man.
and I'll also make a claim that in 2 years from now, I want to look back at this video and say that I set out to what I was aiming to do. So 2 years from now, man, if I popped off, I'm gonna look back at this interview and we're gonna know exactly where I said it and who was with. And it was with Austin Thao, a Platinum Podcast.
Yeah. You heard it here first, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
right. That's right.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure you guys go like and subscribe and share this video. Make sure you guys go show Mr. Chillax some love on Instagram, Facebook, uh, YouTube, and wherever else. I'll leave it down in the description, like always. Make sure you guys have a blessed day, and always make sure to follow your passion no matter what happens.
That's right, man.
Peace.
Peace.